them was a drug addict who could not get through the day without taking several marijuana breaks. Now, I got nothing against that. That's what you want to do. That's your business. But he was a low-class person. The other guy was a recovering alcoholic. God bless him. He was getting back on his feet, trying to do the right thing, trying to live his life right. And the other guy was a former felon. He'd been out of prison. It's the only job he could get as a felon. And we're sitting there one afternoon in the blazing hot Kansas summer. It's 100 degrees outside. We're scrubbing this trailer. And one of the guys leans over to me and goes, Jason, how much money you think they spent on you doing all that high-speed stuff that you did in the military? And I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, dude, it had to be millions of dollars on my training. And he just started laughing. He's like, he's like, now you scrubbing trailers. And I'm like, you're right, man. Now I'm scrubbing trailers. How far the mighty have fallen. And it was just like, I suddenly had the realization that, look, if I didn't make some changes, my life was going to suck forever. And I had no idea what I needed to do. And then I got a phone call. I got a phone call from a friend of mine who was in the Marine Corps. And he said, at this point, I was getting ready to get married. I was, my wife and I had been, actually we weren't engaged yet, but I had a girlfriend who would become my wife, and I was looking at this saying, there's no way that I can provide any kind of life for a family doing this, and I refuse to bring little ones into the world or start a family if I can't provide for the people that I love. And I got a call from a friend of mine who said, hey, I'm in Iraq. This was right after the wars had kicked off. And I'm working for a company, and we're protecting some of the guys up here who are doing a diplomatic mission. And they, do you want to come over? Do you want to come work with us? And it took me about 1/8 of a second to say yes. You know, by the way, high risk of death by either shooting or explosion. And I said yes. And I left my soon-to-be wife, flew halfway around the world, and I joined up with a group of guys who were providing security to a diplomatic mission there where people were building roads and bridges. I worked for a provincial reconstruction team, guarded a lot of diplomats and things like that in Iraq. And this was we were in northern Iraq, which was the most dangerous place at the time. These are some pictures of me. I blotted out the faces of a couple of the guys so you can't see them, not because we were doing anything terribly high speed, low drag, but mainly because those guys still work and there is some undercover stuff that we do. And so I went there and I started working and doing that, and I was making very, very good money at that point, because there was a very, very high risk of death. I've been shot at many times. I almost got killed once by shooting. Came very, very close to death. It came right off of the screen plate, the shield that was on one of the up-armored Humvees we were on. And I've been blown up 3 times. I've been in 3 IED attacks. And I'm doing this, and I'm making a lot of money, but I'm away from my family. I'm away from my then wife, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I knew that this wasn't it. I knew that I wouldn't be able to raise a family and have the people, and I wouldn't be able to have the life that I wanted, even though I had the money. See, I had half the puzzle. I had money. I had more money than I really knew what to do with. So much so that I would fritter it away. I had guys in my team who had 3 or 4 Breitling watches at $15,000 a piece. I just one for every day of the week. That kind of money. And I thought to myself, well, I gotta start doing something different. So I gotta get out of this place. And so I started getting into this trading thing, and I had a group of traders who were a group of guys with me. I ended up on a team where everybody was trading penny stocks. And I started to have this dream. I started getting into penny stock trading, started going through the 4 stages that I talked about, stage 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I started dreaming about this life. Hey, trade on the beach. My wife and I can travel the world. I'll have a chance to actually drive my car. Have fast cars, falling dollars, This was at the time when Forex was completely unregulated.